Welcome everyone. Today's Tuesday, and you know what goes well with Tuesdays? Tacos for Taco Tuesday. So that's why I am cosplaying as a piece of beef in a taco today. And we're going to be playing a taco themed deck based off of what my tacos normally look like when I have them. So we have Evil Barbarians in there for the corn tortillas for the base because last season when the Evil Hogs were released, I think for the hog calling contest, they had there was a barbarian in a corn hat, and so the barbarians are there for the corn tortillas. The Evil Hogs are there for the meat. Most of the tacos that I have are beef. Some are chicken. A few are fish, but I usually don't have pork tacos, but I know they're a thing. So the Royal Hogs are in there for the meat. Outside of the heroes, which I'm still not a fan of Supercell adding. Outside of the heroes, I think the Golden Knight is the most yellow card in the game. So we have him for the shredded cheddar cheese, Goblin Gang in there for the shredded lettuce. We then have Skeleton Army for the onions, which are a bunch of little white pieces. And normally when we have tacos, the onions are mixed in with the meat and cooked together, but I think some people have them just plain that you can add on the side. Giant snowball for the sour cream because it's just a little dollop of white. The fire spirits in there for the salsa, which is hot. And usually there's just a little bit of salsa that's added, which is why we don't have the full furnace added in there. It's why we just have a singular fire spirit, just for the little touch of hot salsa. And then Zap is there for a little bit of lime juice, which is sprinkled on top, which adds a little pop of flavor, a little zap of flavor, if you will. So this is the taco deck that we're going to be playing, and this is actually, I think this is my fourth attempt recording this video because the first couple times the screen recording, the first time actually went good because I got all the way to the end. I thought the video went well, and I went to look at the screen recording of the gameplay, and it ended up only recording the latter half of the gameplay. It didn't record the first few minutes. It only recorded like the last 5 minutes, and I didn't know why that happened, so I recorded again, and I think the same issue came up. Then the third time, it did give me a notification midway through. I think it gave me a notification that your iPad storage is low, and so I ended up trying to stop the screen recording, and then it said couldn't save, and so now this is the fourth attempt. So what I'm saying is I've had a little bit of experience playing this deck, and it's not a great deck. The reason why is because the pigs and the barbs give a ton of fireball value. The Goblin Gang and the Skeleton Army both give a ton of log value, and the pigs are, they're a good win condition, but they're essentially our only way of getting damage. And so if they have something like a Mega Knight or just a building, it's pretty easily countered. We also played against I played against a golem player, and at first I was like, okay, this should not be too hard. I have a ton of answers for Golem, Skeleton Army, Evo Barbs. Goblin Gang is kind of a decent card to Golem as well. But he was playing the deck with Healer, Tornado, that classic no skill beatdown deck. And while I did have answers for the Golem, I didn't have anything for the Evo E-Drag. So it just sat there and got a ton of value, and I wasn't able to kill it at all because my only air cards, I'm going to have to snowball and zap this to get rid of the shield, and we're still not going to keep our tower, but maybe we can make the Mega Knight jump here, and it's not going to matter. But it's not a super balanced deck, so I'm not super confident about winning a game today, but it's about the theme deck. That's what it's about. So as long as we can have some fun in today's video, then that's all that matters. But I wanted to I wanted to share something with you all, and it's something that happened when I first started playing Clash Royale. When I first started playing, I kind of believed the stereotype that every Clash Royale player. Also, before I go on, I should just mention that's why we're using chef as well to fit the theme, because the royal chef kind of fits the theme of cooking and tacos. So if you were wondering why we had that in there, that's why. And this is already looking to be a tough matchup because he has bomber for all the swarm cards, and the goblin hut for. And if he has poison as well, then that would be. Oh, okay. I guess he. I guess yeah. I should have known. He just has the hero knight. But when I first started playing Clash Royale, I believe the stereotype that every Clash Royale player was kind of a, to put it nicely, a degenerate, just kind of, a, as someone who emoted after every win, someone who, didn't have much going for them, didn't really have a life, didn't have a job, and he does have poison. But that's what I believe when I first started playing Clash Royale, and I kind of realized just, maybe 4 weeks ago when joined a I joined a Discord server that was for Clash Royale. It was a Clash Royale themed Discord server. It was another, where people who played the game could talk, could interact, and I was kind of surprised at how many people in that server were actually genuine, who were actually trying to like genuinely make friends. They seemed like genuine people. Um, Several of them, actually had day jobs, and they would just, and they would play Clash Royale on, kind of on the side as well. It wasn't all they did, is what I'm saying. And so I was kind of surprised at how many of the people there seemed like genuine people. And it just kind of reminded me that there's going to be good and bad people in everything, right? The Clash players that emote when they beat you, especially when they play a no-skill deck, those people, they're going to exist. They're going to be there. Um, right? There are several people that hit you with the thanks after they're playing a Mega Knight Golem deck or whatnot. There are people that, there are several. I would say maybe even most of the Clash Royale communities like that, but there's also good people as well. And so it's not just with Clash Royale, but if you look at pretty much anything, it's the same case. There's going to be good and bad people with everything. Um, if you look at the government, there are many people that are corrupt and just in the government for their own personal gain. They just want to have insider information so that they can know which stocks to trade, and they can, kind of use their power unwisely just for their own personal gain. But there are also people in the government that are there because they genuinely want to help the country. They genuinely want to make it a better place. And so there's going to be good and bad people no matter where no matter where you look. And it's just a matter of who are you going to listen to, who are you going to surround yourself with. And if you choose to surround yourself with the good people, and if you choose to listen to the good people, then I think you'll be much better off than if you don't. And it's just important to know that there are good and bad people. Please. All right. Well, we gave it our best with the taco deck. But if you take away anything from this video, just know that there's good and bad people in everything. There's good, genuine Clash Royale players, surprisingly. There's also the disrespectful, emoting ones. In the government, there's genuine people in the government. There are people that are honestly trying to make the country a better place, and then there are those that are there for their personal gain. In YouTube, there's going to be good, positive people that support you and uplift you, and I think that's most of people. I think that's most of the people on this channel, but there are still those that leave negative comments and that are negative. And so there's good and bad people in everything. So it's just who are you going to listen to? Who are you going to surround yourself with? And if you choose to focus and surround yourself with the good people, then I think you'll find that you'll be much happier. And if you realize that the bad, negative people are just saying what they say and doing what they do because they're struggling with something and kind of taking it out on you, and they're essentially acting that way because of something with them and not because of anything that you're doing, then you realize that, there's, there you can feel a little bit better about what you're doing because they're not acting that way because of anything that you did. I mean, you could do anything in the world. You could make a video donating to charity and hand building a well in Africa for a village with no water, and there's still going to be people that find a way to hate just because they're, miserable people and they take it out on others. Um, so that was the taco deck for Taco Tuesday. Hopefully you, hopefully you enjoyed. There will be more gameplay of uh, of Trophy Road and of Ladder coming soon because the last several videos I've made have all resulted in losses. But hopefully you have a wonderful Tuesday, and yeah, I will see you all soon.